Hi guys, Bobby Gas here. I was at a yard sale yesterday, Saturday. It's Sunday morning, and I got an email from Darren, the record hound. Oh, I don't know, 5 or 6 days ago that a guy was putting on a yard sale. Dr. Mouth, we call him. Well, that's what he's known as, right? He was a radio guy in the '90s and actually got back into radio with the University of Toronto's radio station, CIUT 89. What is it? 89.5. And he's on Tuesdays. He's still got a great show, Tuesdays noon to 2 o'clock, right? If you get a chance, listen to him because if you can get him, he plays some incredible records, some stuff you ain't never heard before too, all kinds of stuff, the kind of stuff I like and most of you guys like, right? Anyhow, so Darren tells me about it, about the record sale, and I immediately go to Dr. Mouth's channel and start checking out, his advertisement. Here he is. Here's Dr. Mouth right here.
Hey, all you vinyl junkies out there, Dr. Mouth here. It's Tuesday, and I'm getting ready for the gigantic, colossal, stupendous, giant rock and roll vinyl sale. I'm having this Saturday, August the 17th, 254 Donlands Avenue is the address. The sale starts bright and early at 8 a.m. Don't show up early and try to look through the records before anybody else. You won't like what happens. 8 a.m., Saturday, August the 17th. Man, I've been down in the catacombs. I've even pulled stuff out of my own amazing, fantastic collection here. So a lot of really great gems going to be up for grabs in the sale. And one other thing, too, I don't know if you can see this. I'll just stick this up in front of the camera. I don't know if you can tell what that is, but it's a mess is what it is. But I have literally been going through all the records, and I have discounted tons of $5 and even $10 records and put them in the $2 bin. That's right, $2. A lot of people, they come to the sale, they kind of ignore the $2 bin. They go straight for the high-end stuff. Don't do it, man. There is tons of great stuff in the $2 bins. Everything rock, soul, funk, blues, punk. There is even some way out prog in the $2 bin. So don't ignore the $2 bins. So remember, Saturday, August the 17th, 254 Donlands Avenue, Dr. Mouth's gigantic rock and roll vinyl sale. Do you really want to miss it? Do you? Do you really?
So Darren picks me up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we drive there. We're a little early, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes early. Wasn't no traffic on a Saturday morning. And we get there, and there was one or two guys there, and Danny, that's Dr. Mouth's first name, he's out talking to a guy, and then I see him, and I jump out of the car and roll over, and hi, how you doing? Hadn't seen him in 5 or 6 years since the pandemic the last time. He didn't recognize me. The first time he seen me, he recognized me because of my white hair. And the second time he seen me, he says, I'm walking up on a guy, and he's looking like, who the fuck is this? And I say, what, you don't recognize me? And he goes, Bobby, he goes, the beard, I didn't recognize the beard. And I put that on, because of the pandemic, I wasn't going out anymore. Anyhow, so we started buying records. That's what I got. Darren got twice as much as me, maybe 3 times as much as me. I mean, it was hot and humid, right? I had to stop and leave the sale a couple of times and go sit down in his car and smoke some pot to cool down. I did that 2 or 3 times, right? At one time I was in there, I had finished buying records, and I see Darren's over there getting ready to pay and all of that. He had to walk across the street to a bank machine and get more money. Anyhow, here you go. I also seen Rob from well, he's got a video channel, YouTube channel called Old School, and he's the best digger I see in Toronto, or guys, you know, they show the records they pick up, and he's the best guy I see for digging and stuff like that. Anyhow, Rob was there. He wouldn't let me take his picture, right? So here's what the place looked like.
How about you?
Rob don't want me to show his picture.
It's not bad. It's jam. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they put out like 3 or 4 of those.
Right, yeah.
And they're not bad, but they're all kind of, they're just kind of jammy, right? Like as you'd kind of expect.
Yeah.
Right back then.
Only one, sir.
Wow, that's it?
That's it.
Better than nothing.
records, bro.
Yeah, I know. You're like me. You got lots, right?
And I should be doing what you're doing.
Danny, smile.
Hey!
Okay, now the records. I'm going to show you the 45s first, because 45s, that's my, you know, big love and all of that, right? And I did okay. They were $1 a piece. Actually, I didn't get to the 45s till, you know, an hour, 45 minutes, an hour after I was there. I was looking at all the albums. First, I went right into the high-end albums right off the bat, right? Because, you know, you go in early, you get the deals quick before the other guys get them, you know? I was first in the back. Actually, he got a chair for me to sit down for the 20 minutes I was waiting for it to start. Anyhow, here's the records. The Knickerbockers, Lies. On Apex, this is an original, eh? All these records are in great shape too. They're all in great shape. They might be a little dirty and dusty, some of them, eh? But they're all, you know, they can play them all. They're fine. I got that album too, the Lies, the Knickerbockers. I might even have the 45. Now I know I got this 45 right here, Mission Bell by Lonnie Brooks. Donnie Brooks, pardon me. I love that tune. This is an American edition. I have a Canadian edition of it, eh? No, I'm not going to play none of these for you. I mean, right now, a lot of times I do that. I just got too many records to show, eh? I'll play excerpts of, if I only got, you know, like 4 or 5 to show, but when I got, you know, a couple of dozen, I don't bother, right? Look, need a pop. Next up here is these guys' biggest hit, Flood. Cousin Mary on the Daffodil label. These guys here were more or less, I don't know, they were kind of like a singles band, I always thought, even though they did have 4 or 5 albums. But they you know, they had to keep switching record companies. Well, the companies were letting them go is what it was, because they weren't selling many records. What? After 4 or 5 years, they quit and, you know, got into other bands. Actually, Greg Godovich, he went and formed his own band called Goddo, which is a pretty good band. He's a pretty good guitar player, actually, Greg. Lousy golfer, though. And the other guys, 3 of the other guys, they went on to form, who was it? Saga. Yeah, you guys heard, well, some of you guys heard of Saga, right? And we got the Firm. I seen the Firm there. I like this tune here, Radioactive, eh? So I put the scoops on. You know, for $1 you can't go wrong. Even got some picture sleeves. Money for Nothing, Dire Straits. I mean, you know, I love the wording. You know, his facetious wording of some of his songs I loved, right? Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, You Get Lucky, Long After Dark. I always liked Petty. I liked him a lot as a man. I don't have much of his music either, though, eh? Next up here is the Rolling Stones, Picture Sleeves, Start Me Up. That's off of the Goat's Head Soup album. No Use in Crying. And this sheet of plastic here had 4 kind of beat up Elvis Presley 45s, right? Now, the records themselves are in immaculate shape. This EP here looks like it's never been played. Looks like this stuff was just sitting someplace, because I'll show you the other 3. I put them in plastic. They were 4 Elvis records, right? I put them in plastic sleeves to maintain them. Now, all of that Elvis Presley, Don't, I Beg of You, what's that one? Don't Ask Why, and Hard-Headed Woman. And this one here is When He Was in the Army, Big Hunk of Love. What a lousy tune that was. My Wish Came True. Now, that's the backside of one, right? Backside of another. And backside of this one. See the... how does that happen? No, you know what? I think that's mice chewing on it, right? That's what I think it is. Anyhow, I call that stuff patina. A lot of people, they would never go near something like that, but I'm not like that, eh? You know, I like to know what's inside the package. Goes for people too, right? Looks don't mean everything, guys. Now this record here, The Animals. Now I never seen this. This has got to be an American copy. I mean, I got The House of the Rising Sun and Bring It On Home to Me on Canadian 45s, eh? This label here, they bought out discographies of all kinds of bands, the Animals, the Stones, you know, just tons of bands, right? And they were bandits. They ripped off all the artists big time. What the hell was the name of the goddamn... the owner of that thing there? This is Marv Levy, you know. No. Klein was his last name. Alan Klein was his last. He was a real fucking bandit, eh? He's dead though, eh? And for the last 45 I had here, it's kind of a country tune. Well, it is a country tune, but I used to love this and sing this when I was a kid. And that's Sonny James, Young Love, our love we share. Great shape, like I said, eh? All these 45s are so glossy. I didn't have this 45 by Sonny James. Glad to have it. I don't have a lot of country and western classic 45s. I've got some that are lesser known and stuff like that, but I don't have a lot of the ones that I grew up with in the late 50s and you know, 60, 62, 63. Now here's the records I got, right? The albums. Like I said, the very first spot I went to was right back to the garage where all of the $5, $10, $20, $100 records. He had a $100 record there. Darren showed me it. He picked it up. It was John Kay's first band. What the hell were they called? Oh, I forget. Anyhow, I seen them too, you know, back in '65 down in Yorkville, down in the Village, eh? But what a fantastic shape album it was, right? And for $100, probably worth more. I mean, he sells all this stuff a lot less than what it's worth, right? But one thing about him, when I go to yard sales, I look for Canadian bands and Canadian Toronto artists and stuff like that other people wouldn't know from, you know, back in the 50s and the 60s. And some of that stuff is valuable, right? I look for some of that stuff because a lot of people wouldn't know it, being Canadian and all of that, right? But Doctor, he knows his Canadian stuff. Anyhow, I was there, and I picked up $10 Fever Tree. It's got patina on it, but that stuff doesn't bother me. And this is Fever Tree's second album, and this is the one I was missing. I was really surprised to find it. This was the only one I was missing. Well, the first three are the ones that I wanted, right? The ones that I like, right? And I was glad to find that. And it's them Unipacks. Am I going to pull these records out and show them to you? I don't know. You know, Uni record. Get in there. See, that's a problem with them like that, taking them out and showing the vinyl. You gotta get everything back in. I know Vinyl Richie, he does it all. He's all prepared like that. Does it all, and he gets upset with me doing this. Next up here for $10 is great shape, the Jimi Hendrix and Otis Redding at Monterey Pop, the International Pop Festival. When was this, 1970? Yeah, 1970 this album come out here. It's on an unusually colored reprise record. I mean, it's the tricolor, but everything sort of looks, I don't know, a little washed out or something, right? I'd have to look at some of my other 1970 reprise albums to see if that's unusual or something, right? Next up here, for $5, I got Texas Guitar from Dallas to L.A. T-Bone Walker, Guitar Slim, Lawyer Houston, Al King, Ray Agee, and R.S. Rankin. What is this here? Blues Original Volume 3. Well, that's on Atlantic. I'm a blues guy. Picked up this great Coco Taylor album here for $5, and this is early Coco, 78, 79, something like that, and it's on you know, one of my favorite labels, and actually a number of us, right? It's a blues label most of the time, but Alligator Records. I love that label. Of course, Chess is my favorite record label. I like King too, VJ. There's a lot of the old labels I love, right? Modern's another good one. And then I picked up, those were the records I got in the garage with all the top end. All the rest of this stuff was $2. Prelude to the Blues, Bill Doggett. Now, he's not really bluesy, but, you know, I like a lot of his, he's rock and roll blues kind of. Got a lot of great tunes here, and this is in fantastic shape, too. When was this, 1958? Oh, I don't have my glasses on. I think this was 58. It's a Columbia 2i, if I remember correctly. Real heavy, yeah, it's a Columbia 2i. See how glossy that is? I seen this there, and for $2 I had to pick it up. Ronnie Hawkins, Rock and Roll Resurrection, right? There's Ronnie there. That's one of them them funny way to. That's on Monument. Somebody wrote there was too. Chris Christopherson wrote the talking about Ronnie and all of that, right? And Chris Christopherson was with Monument Records, and he got Ronnie to come over and do this album there, right? And I picked up The Killer, Jerry Lee Lewis. I Am What I Am, Ain't That True, eh? This has got rock and some of his country stuff on it, eh? This is late 70s, 78 I think it was, 76. And that's on an MCA. Dr. Hook, I don't mind a lot of his music, right? This one here's got Jungle to the Zoo and Only 16 on it, a bunch of other tunes that I don't mind, eh? My old man liked Dr. Hook, which was a surprise to me, right? Felix Pappalardi, bass player for Mountain. His girlfriend or wife or whatever she was, I forget her name, she was a wacko. She killed him, shot him with a gun. They were big time into the drugs, eh? And this one here is a promo copy, not for sale. $2. Felix Pappalardi, what a steal. He's one of my, as far as watching bass players, he's probably my favorite to watch. Like, I mean, his head's going, you know, to the beat like fucking crazy, right? Now, I bought this Blood Rock 3. The only reason, I have the album, the only reason, for $2, the only reason I bought it was because, where the hell are you? Oh, there you go. Includes frame-ready photo of Blood Rock. And it's in great shape too, the album, right? It's on the green capital A. Always them green capitals. This is Canadian though, this one here, the American ones. They sound great, eh? Green capitals. Ronnie Wood. I've got my own album too. Keith Richards is on this, and because it's a Stones, I picked it up, eh? And another reason I actually like this, if you look, what radio station? Hang on here. This is a radio station copy, and I forgot what radio station it was. And that's important to me. Oh, it's the University of Toronto. It's one of the University of Toronto is stamped on it, eh? University of Toronto record. You know, when all them, I've got a number of Toronto radio, 3 of them actually, Toronto radio stations, that when they went digital, you know, they sold their records, or disc jockeys took them home, or, you know, secretaries took them home, or whatever the hell happened to them, eh? I don't know. And I love picking them up. It's history to me, eh? You know, history of rock music is important to me. I also picked up, you know, talking about the Stones and all of that. They had some Stones bootlegs there, and they had Stones records, but I had them all. They had some Stones bootlegs, 2 of them, and a Hendrix bootleg, but I don't buy bootlegs. I just don't trust them, eh? Here's Edward. I have this one also, right? I don't know why. You know, for $2 I'll pick it up, right? I mean, even though I've got it. And I can always give it to somebody else or something like that, right? You know, that's Nicky Hopkins, Ry Cooder, Mick Jagger, Bill Wyman, Charlie Watts, but no Keith. No Keith. I'm still on the Stone scene. I seen this here, and I was, what the hell? Baroque and Stones, what? And I see this stuff over here, and I went, what the hell is this? And I recognize the picture. Gainsborough's the Blue Boy. And then I'm looking and reading on the inside, and the songs, the songs that are on it. Oh, here we go. Play with Fire, Get Off My Cloud, 19th Nervous Breakdown, As Tears Go By, Cry to Me, Satisfaction, Tell Me. You know, with flutes and, you know, Baroque style or something. So I'm dying to listen to this and check it out. Well, you know, kind of weird, but I'm going to check it out. And then I got one of my favorite guys when I was a kid, Jimmy Rogers, Kisses Sweeter Than Wine, Honeycomb, Jamaica Farewell, Hoist Up the John B. Sale. This guy had a lot of great records. You know, but in the record industry, he got the shit kicked out of him, beat up. He was never the same ever since, right? What Copper did it, eh? It's on a Dot record, weighs about 2 tons, right? Dot, that's an American, the American. Of course, we have Dot up here in Canada too, eh? Oh, get that in the sleeve, Bobby. Sorry, Richie. And the last 2 records I have here is psych pop here, or, you know, pop music. Harper's Guitar, Feeling Groovy, in great shape it is, right? It's got a bunch of their hits and stuff like that, right? You know, I don't, every now and then I don't mind this kind of stuff. And that's on the Gold Warner Brothers label. That's how old this one is. Damn it, Richie. They make them tight, don't they? Ah, shit, I'll have to do this one later. It ain't working out right. And the last record, I got no idea about this. The Secret Life of Harper's Bazaar. Same band, a lot later, I would imagine. And I'm just gonna, you know, just check it out for you. Same thing. Gold Warner Brothers, so it's still pretty late, right? I never even looked at the songs. I just, Battle of New Orleans is on it. Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat. Funny How Love Can Be. Sentimental Journey. I'll Build a Stairway to Heaven. And many more. Oh, I don't know. But there you go, guys. There's my, what I scored yesterday. I don't know. It's supposed to rain all day today. I don't know. Or maybe break a little bit. Beats me. Anyhow, I haven't had this long enough. Later. Dr. Mouth.